As you probably gathered, Solicitor General Kagan and I just finished our meeting. I'm impressed with her knowledge and her legal background, as I was when the President nominated her to serve as Solicitor General of the United States, the country's top lawyer at the Supreme Court. I was impressed with her when President Clinton nominated her to be on the D.C. Circuit. Unfortunately, she was one of the 60 that the Republicans at that time pocket filibustered. This time, though, the big difference from when she was nominated to be a judge, this time she will have a hearing, and she will have a fair hearing. I will guarantee that all Democratic senators and all Republican senators are able to ask all relevant questions, and I'm sure she'll answer them. You know, she's at the top of the legal profession. She's also no stranger to breaking glass ceilings. She's the first woman to serve as Solicitor General of the United States. She was the first woman to serve as Dean of the Harvard Law School, and she can bring the number of women serving on our 9-member Supreme Court, the number of women to 3, first time in history. And we had a good private meeting. I found it very helpful, and I hope that she did. I've urged many presidents, actually I've been here since Justice Stevens was first nominated. I've urged many presidents to look outside the judicial monastery and not to feel restricted to just having federal appellate judges. Actually, when I was in law school, that's the way most of the members of the Supreme Court had not served as appellate judges before they were there. When the president announced his selection on Monday, he talked about her legal mind, her intellect, her record of achievement, her temperament, her fair-mindedness. And I was interested to hear the president talk about what she learned from Justice Marshall, that behind law, there are stories of people's lives as shaped by the law, stories of people's lives as might be changed by the law. And I think that's important that she understands that, because we've seen how a narrow conservative majority on the nation's highest court has ignored, in many instances, congressional intent and the court's own precedent. They've overturned decades of law to limit protection for workers of all ages, to curb access to court, to muffle Americans' voices in their elections. We heard Solicitor General Kagan talk Monday about upholding the rule of law and enabling all Americans to get a fair hearing. She said law matters because it keeps us safe, because it protects our most fundamental freedoms, and because it is the foundation of her democracy. The Constitution is our protection. She feels that law matters in people's lives. That's what convinced me to go to law school. It's what convinced me to be a prosecutor. It is what I like the most about being in the U.S. Senate. And so it was music to my ears to hear what she had to say. The president's made his nomination. Now we get a chance to do our part. The Judiciary Committee will give a good, clear, fair hearing, as we did with Justice Sotomayor, and we'll see where we go from there. It is hard to describe when you're talking about somebody being Supreme Court Justice. Now you're talking really very, very serious things. And it's a whole different level. And that's basically the way the tenor of it was. We obviously had the small talk you do before, but then we got down to very specific views of how one sees the court, how one feels about the court, how one views a lifetime position, and how one can remove themselves from political thought and go to being a member of the country's highest court. I thought she answered those questions.